Did you know that Blender doesn't have a copy animation feature? For example, if I wanted to copy this animation onto the other objects, you can't really do that. I can try using the link animation, which I think is what you're thinking of with the shortcut Ctrl L, link animation. But you see, the issue with that is that it moves everything to the position of that object, which is not what we want. I want this animation to be copied over the other objects without them moving to that object. Hey guys, and welcome to Top Channel 1-on-1, and I'm trying to fix Blender by fixing small things like this and giving away the solutions for free. And today I've made an add-on called extra keyframes that you can use to fix that issue. So let me show you how to use it. So just install it like any other add-on. All you have to do is select the objects you want to copy the animations to, and then the object with the animation, and make sure you're on frame 1 or frame 0, and then use the copy active to selected to copy over the animation. Use the relative offset to keep the original state of the objects in the same state so that they don't just move over to the active object. So I'll just do that, and now you can see we have that animation. It's a simple thing, but really important that Blender doesn't have. Another thing that Blender lacks is the offset animation setting. For example, these cubes are moving at the same time, and I don't want that. I want some bit of offset. You can do that manually by selecting all of the cubes and expanding the keyframes, and you can look at all the keyframes for each individual object. You can offset the keyframes by just moving the keyframes of an object, but you can see it's hard to tell which object's keyframes you're moving. So you can see I'm selecting this and this is moving up. That's not what I want. So you would expect to have an offset keyframes button that you just click and then moves things over and then offset things as expected, but we don't have that in Blender. So I've added that feature inside the extra keyframes add-on. Again, it's free. You can download it. Here you just go to the offset keyframes section and just click offset, and that will offset the animation just like that. Let me increase the timeline length so that we cover the entire animation and take a look at that. Now, if you want to speed this up, because the offset is determined by the number of frames that you want to offset, I can first clear the animation, and it will clear to the current cursor position. So I want to clear it to frame 0. And that way we have the original animation, and I want to offset this by 1 frame. That way the animation is a bit faster. Let me clear. I can make it offset by 5, and look at that. It's a bit slower and more timed. So I can clear that again. I can reverse the offset, so it starts from behind and then does that. I can clear offset. And if you have a curve object, for example, this curve here, I can select everything and offset by a curve. So curve object, basic curve. You can select the radius, basically how far the objects have to be added into the offset. So I can increase the offset there. And now, because we have the reverse option, that's why you see it's reverse. So let me first turn that off, clear the offset, and then offset again. And you can see that the offset is following the curve. If these cubes were smaller, you would get a different type of animation. What else? Let me clear the animation. You also have the option to offset by 3D cursor. So if I have the 3D cursor here, you can also do that. So I can offset that. Now you can see that the offset is starting from the 3D cursor. It's a very simple tool, but quite useful in motion graphics, and I'll be using it in my tutorials, as you might see. Anyway, that's it. If you want to check out all my other products, like my courses, my other add-ons, paid add-ons, links are going to be in the description. If you want to support me, you can check out my Patreon. And yeah, keep coming back to the channel. I'll be sharing more tools like this for free. Links are in the description. Thank you. See you in the next one.